Welcome, everybody, to our Wednesday Wisdom Call and our show, really, because it's a webinar. And I just want to tell you how just exciting the last 2 days have been. I've been blown away by Charles Austin. I was blown away by Laura Fansel. And let me tell you what, you are not going to be disappointed today either. You are going to be blown away by Mama Shu and just the faith that she has and the things that she has done in her life will be an inspiration. And you know, that's what we're here to do. This series is the Winning Mindset series because we need to have the right winning mindset in our minds to be able to have success. And remember, we're not talking about just monetary success. Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's great. And it's needed 100%. But we're talking about this type of success that's going to allow you to develop your greatness and bless the world with your greatness. See, I believe with every fiber in my being that we were sent to this earth with gifts and with talents and with a divine calling. And with that divine calling, we're going to leave a legacy on this earth. And let me tell you, when you hear Mama Shu's story and the legacy that this beautiful woman and mother and sister and leader is leaving on this earth and the lasting impact that she's making in this world, you will be inspired and you will want to play bigger. And let me tell you, there's two mantras that I have for 2017. And one of the mantras is play bigger. I don't care where you are right now in your life. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you're a student. I don't care if you're a CEO. I don't care where you are in your life. In 2017, let's play bigger. You know, as Gandhi says, we've got to be the change in the world that we want to see in the world. If you want this world to be a better place, if you want to make a lasting impression on people, you've got to do things for yourself to make yourself better. It's just all there is. So, second mantra is come ready to receive and you'll leave ready to achieve. And that's one of the things that we're doing right now. You're coming ready to receive Mama Shu's message. You're coming ready to receive what you need to take in your life to make changes, to adjust, to surround yourself with the people that you need to surround yourself. And if you come ready to receive, you are going to leave ready to achieve. Now, our topic today is having faith. And you know, in my mind, having faith is knowing that there's something so much bigger than you that's in control. And you might not understand everything. And I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to understand everything. You're not going to understand everything, why things happen to you, why obstacles, why tragedy, why struggles. But it doesn't matter if you understand the reason for things. It's the knowledge, that faith that you have, that you are loved immensely no matter what you're going through, and that you've been given everything within you to win, to succeed, and to leave a legacy. Now, here's a quote from Martin Luther King. It's one of my favorite ones. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. And let me tell you what, when you are dreaming big, you don't see the whole staircase. You usually just see the first step. Sometimes that's all you see. But remember, success only happens in action. So you have to take that first step up the staircase, not knowing what the next step is, but you're going to be sent the people. You're going to be sent the resources. You're going to be sent further ideas. You're going to be sent further instructions. But you got to take that first step. So Mama Shu, I'm going to tell you, when I first came across Mama Shu was this summer in August. I was at a conference. And at this conference, she told her story. And I'm telling you, there was not a dry eye in that house. You were overwhelmed with her spirit and her story. And, you can read on the slide that she's a mother, a community activist, a former school administrator, the CEO and founder of Avalon Village. But let me get out of my way and let Mama Shu tell her story. Take notes. Be ready to receive. You are going to be blown away, and you are going to be blessed by this incredible spirit. Mama Shu, take it away.
All right. Good morning, sisters. It is really, really wonderful to be connected again. I just remember that day in August when I came to Texas. Oh my God, it was just really, really a big thing, even winning the award. And I am just still so appreciative, and I stare at it every day. I'm so excited. But yeah, I liked what you said about, there's a couple of things I like what you said. I like what you said about playing bigger, because it's funny because on my Facebook page, everybody was like, 2006 or whatever was this and that, and some of them had, I'm so glad to get rid of that, and they were really, really glad to abandon it and be done with it. But for me, what I said that I was doing 2006, but I was doing it harder. So what I wanted to do was basically what I did in 2006, all the wonderful things, all the things that, just emotionally, mentally, as it relates to building what we're doing over here, I knew I wanted to take that to another level. So I love when you say in 2017 to play bigger. I'm hip with that, boy. I love that. So I'm going to be saying that, and I really appreciate that. And then also I appreciate the quote that you had from Martin Luther King. That is one of my favorite ones too, because a lot of times whatever people, they get discouraged because they don't know the steps. And that right there is sometimes you just don't control everything, and you can't have everything laid out in front of you, because you can't really enjoy the journey or whatever if you know what's coming in front of you. So I am definitely an advocate and a strong believer, and my team will say that here at Avalon Village and in my life, that I am a believer in things unfolding organically, how they feel, that you'll be connected to every single thing that you need, as long as you believe in what it is that you're doing, what it is that you want to work on, and what it is that you're trying to put out there to the world. But I'm sitting here in Avalon Village, and my story is a story of faith, and it is of healing. 9 years ago, I had a great loss of my son, Jacoby Ra. He was 2 years, 1 month, and 6 days old, and he got killed by a hit-and-run driver here in Highland Park on a street called Rhode Island. And that day, needless to say, and if you're a mother, and if you're if your parents, period, that that's something that you just don't really, really think about that's going to happen to you. And actually, it was one of my talks that me and my sister friends, and we would talk about, like, wow, if something ever happened to our children, we wouldn't know what we would do, and I thought, oh my God, we would just die. So these were the stories. This is all before Jacoby was born, and just regular conversation. If you heard about a child dying or whatever, you'd be like, woo, I know I couldn't take it. Well, on that day, September the 23rd, 2007, it actually happened to me. That was my worst fear. And so the worst fear happened. I lost one of my dear children. And from then on, I've just been invincible, because to me, I woke up the next day after it happened and I was still living. So I'm thinking that I'm real superhuman, because even though that happened, I do carry the weight of the loss. It's in my head and it's in my heart every day. And to be able to live with that and to be able to function is a feat in itself to me. And anybody who knows of the experience, then they know what I'm talking about. But what it did is that it made me stronger. It made me believe that I can do any and every single thing that I put my mind forth to. So I'm over here looking at this blighted area all the years before when Jacoby was born, and even when he was living. And I'm looking at this space, this blighted area here in Highland Park that's near Detroit. and it's this whole block, y'all. So I'm like, okay, it's a mess over there. And I kept looking, but it was something I was drawn to the space. And I actually used to just stalk the space because I was like, ooh, I'm going to get over there. I can clean up the block. I can, we're going to put a homework house. I want to put a cafe. I want to put this and that, just everything to help to restore our neighborhood. And so I just looked at it. So it was like 9 years of basically cleaning up the space with help from local folks, children, men from the rescue mission that have helped me for over the years to clean out these lots. I got over here, I stared at this house, this one house, if I get over there in that house, I know I need to be over there to do the work. Long story short, found the house, it was $5,500. The house was right there on the corner. And I kept staring. I said, this will be great for my nonprofit organization. I could serve the people out of here and I could do this, that, and the other. And then 6 months after my son got killed, I rolling down Woodward Avenue, going to work, looking down my block that I really wanted, the house that I wanted. And it was a dumpster on the side of the, inside of the driveway of the house. I did a quick U-turn. The house was for sale. And so I ended up calling $5,500, they said. I said, well, I only have $3,000. I didn't have $3,000 at all. Actually, I didn't have zero, but I was like, I said it with confidence bigger. I'm like, I got it. So right there to let you guys know that faith was really going to work then, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go to the closing with $3,000. I don't have. So what happened is that because I believed and I knew that I would once be over here, that I would get that house, my friend out the blue said, hey, gave me $1,500, my friend from Chicago. The rest of the money, I did $468. And it was from my state income taxes, just all of a sudden came in a timely manner, in the mail. And then next, my paycheck came. And then I was able to patch the $3,000 together. I went to the closing in May of 2008, and I closed on the first entity inside of Avalon Village. And so I got in this house, stayed in it when it was boarded up, didn't have a bathtub yet. It was just a real, boy, my living rugged, y'all. So, right, and fighting off just the different elements that was going on too, because it really wasn't that safe yet. It was still folks, squatters, and it was, drug dealings and things like that. So I'm like, okay. So I had to be, so my house was boarded up, but I'm over here. And the first entity was the house and the Moon Ministry, my nonprofit organization, but it was also to install Jacoby Rod Park. Jacoby Rod Park was made out of blighted, vacant lots here on Avalon Street in Highland Park. And so basically, we fixed up and this was years. This just wasn't an overnight thing for even the park to get ready, because we're talking about, y'all, mattresses. We're talking about, I woke up one morning, y'all, believe it or not, it was a dang boat or whatever that somebody abandoned overnight. I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, it's a boat right there in my backyard. So they were suddenly, it was a dumping area, basically, unfortunately. And so we fixed up the park, and then every year it got better. It got better and better and better. And so won a couple of awards for beautification from the mayor and the illegal dumping task force, but just been working on this block or whatever. Basically, I've been taking small bites out of the elephant. And just basically because I'm knowing what I saw, and I believed what I saw, which was a beautified block, and that's my vision, an eco-village, and basically a restoration and putting love back into this block, which was actually one of the most notorious blocks from what I hear from my police chief. I'm also a reserve police officer with the Highland Park Police Department. And so my police chief was like, Harris, that block right there is like one of the worst. We used to be over there 6-7 times a day. Literally, they did. The crime was so bad, they used to throw rocks at the streetlights and break them out. So that meant that the whole block was totally dark and everything. Folks used to get off of the bus. They would get off at the next street just not to come down this block. It was just really amazing. So we've been able to resurrect this with love, with community concern. Everybody's just all excited or whatever here about what we're building. But I held on to, and I never stopped. And my friends, they cracked me up because it was like, Shu, you just never did let go. And I was like, no, because when you see something and when you believe something so hard, and when you can almost taste it. And I saw the village and everything being built almost down to the color towels that would be inside of the bathrooms. I mean, it's just that detailed for me.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I mean, one of the things that you said, and I think it's so profound, is when you said your worst fear happened. And when your worst fear happened, which is the loss of your child, your beautiful child, I think every parent feels that same way. That would be your worst fear.
Yeah.
But when your worst fear happened and you woke up the next day, you realized, even my worst fear, I'm going to be able to overcome. And this tragedy that came into your life has been made for good, because it was this tragedy that gave you a vision. And it was this tragedy that propelled you. And you looked out that window and you saw, you know, okay, look at all the things in this world that need my help, but this is my neighborhood. You know, that's, you know, when you look at, when we realize as individual people that we're sent here to this earth to do good, and that every bad thing that happens, if we do have faith, it will be made for good, but we've got to do. And when you said you would never let go of your vision, you know, first of all, like you said, you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. And the stronger your vision and the more detailed your vision, the bigger the pool. But, you know, I want people to realize that this was not something that's happened overnight. You know, you've been doing this for 9 years, but she has totally, with her vision and with her faith and with her drive and with her resilience, she has pulled people together, because playing big isn't playing by yourself. You can't play big by yourself. You have to get other people. You've got to let things unfold organically, like Mama Shu said, but you got to pull people into your tribe. And what she's done, and I loved it when you said that house, you looked at that house and it was for sale, and you were like, well, all I have is $3,000. Folks, she didn't have anything, okay?
My friends thought I was crazy.
But you know, that's what people need to realize is when you speak things out into the world, don't keep it in your head. When you speak things out to the world, all I have is $3,000. Even when you don't have $3,000 and you have faith that $3,000 it's going to come to you. But again, you got to be in action. You got to be in action, and you just, you know, what blows me away, and it's something I've really been talking a lot about this week, is example. You know, we have got to see examples. And you know, this is one of the reasons why we've got a guest on every week, and we're going to do this every month of 2017, because we're playing bigger. We're going to reach out and touch as many people as possible. But here's one of Mama Shu's quotes, and I love it, because it really is exactly what we're talking about. Some look for a beautiful place. Others make a beautiful place for wherever they are. They make a place beautiful. So some look for a beautiful place, but some people make a place beautiful. And that's what we have to do in every aspect of our lives. And tell our viewers how much your faith has played a role in everything that you've done in your life and with this.
Well, it's played the big part because it's actually become infectious. When folks see that, you stick and stay, you're consistent, and you really believe, and it's really not no change in your mind. And those folks that actually know me here, and just my family and my peers or whatever, they know that when I say that I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow through. We have, like you said, teams. We have a wonderful collective that have come together to make this happen. But even before the 9 years, it's always been in buildup. This has been my work for over 30 years is what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Serving the community, doing things to uplift and empower us, specifically women, but being able to pull things together and have community service projects that are for the good of the people. But it is important. It is important to basically to have faith and to just hold on and just to work. You don't want anything whatever that's going to be instantaneous. You want something that's lasting. You want something that's solid. You want something that's solid. So a lot of times, and then you listen to your intuition. When you listen to your intuition, it's brought us here to the fact we've gotten a lot of just having faith and believing what has happened, a lot of wonderful things that have happened. One of the wonderful things that we were there, we got pledged to whatever money for the Goddess Marketplace. We were on Ellen to be able to, and we won a house. She gave us a house and $100,000 house, which I'm making into administrative offices. But dig this, I got to tell a quick story about the administrative offices. Now, everything is in my dining room here in this house that I bought for $3,000. I'm like, oh my goodness. I need space or whatever. I need like an office space where I can just have a chill space for conferences, be able to put my computer, get everything out of here and be able to, and then I go on Ellen and I win a house and I make the house into the administrative welcome center. You right, when you speak it out and when you say what it is that you want, but also you have to make sure that your heart is in the right place. And that what you're doing or whatever it is, it's for you and it's an enjoyment for you, but it's also that you're giving back and that you're extending yourself and you're extending your love. But it's really it's a lot of stuff. Just everybody is just coming on board. The government here in Highland Park, everybody is on board. They're very, very excited. We've been on national news, whatever, about it, because one of the things that I also said too in the beginning of this project is I said, I want it to be infectious. And what you said about being examples and demonstrating, one of the thoughts in my mind, I was like, wow, we need to build this. I want to do this because I want people to see how sometimes things are very, very simple. We make things so hard sometimes. It's like, it only takes this and it only takes a flyer to get folks to come out. We think sometimes the stuff is just so big and untouchable, and we get bogged down or whatever in all of that about how much we need to do. But if you got the love and the passion, and that's what you want to do, then you're gonna just sit up there and you're gonna go past all of that. So I like what you said about demonstrating. I wanted to make sure that this was infectious, that people can actually see that you can do something very simple, just as cleaning up a vacant lot that's next door to you, and hopefully, and wanted it to spread. And that's what has happened. It's spread. So this is actually an example of how one can go about. It's not the only way, but it's a way how one can go about building.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what's amazing to me is, here, because the heart is in the right place. And that's so important. I love how you said that. A couple things. One is it's not hard to make a difference. It's not hard to make a difference. It's just having your heart in the right place and doing it and being stick and stay. Be consistent. When people know you're serious about this. You're going to do anything and everything that it takes to make it happen. People with, like you said, with that passion, with that drive, with that heart, because people know, you can tell when you speak with someone, is it in their heart to do good? And when people, and to be recognized by Ellen DeGeneres, to be on the show, to get national coverage, to have Ellen DeGeneres purchase a house, to be supported, I'm telling you, everybody, you've got to connect And you've got to go on Mama Shu's website, the avalonvillage.org. You got to connect with her on this Facebook page. And all this is on the screen right now. And I'm going to tell you something else. Remember what Mama Shu said about being infectious. Okay, we have to be the soldiers of good on this earth. So
Yes.
when you come in contact with someone like Mama Shu, which is what I did in August, I said, I'm going to be a soldier to her cause because it's good. And I have told people about her, which is one of the reasons why we wanted her on this show this week, which is one of the reasons why we'll continue to promote this, because we have to share. We can't just take this in and say, man, this was an inspirational 30 minutes. No, we got to do one step further. We got to get on the website. We got to connect with Facebook. We've got to share on our social media. We've got to say, what can we do to make things better? What can we do to help with this cause? And organically, things are going to start to unfold. You know, the neat thing about this, and one of the reasons why we chose this webinar platform to share these amazing guests that we've had on this week, is because we wanted people to be able to share with their friends, register for the link, and then we'll send this recording to these people. You'll get this exact recording that you can share with people, because we're on a mission. And just like Mama Shu said, we're not going to stop. We will not stop. Now, maybe this is a mission that you'd like to hitch your wagon to. Maybe there's another mission that you want to hitch your wagon to. Maybe you got a passion and a vision that you want to start all on your own. But Mama Shu is the real deal here. And she's good. She's not going to stop. So if you want something to hitch your wagon to,
yes,
this is a good one. This is a good one. Maybe you want to do this exact same thing in your community. Well, learn what she's doing. She was happy to share. But, you know, I'm going to tell you, in closing up, we're going to do a call to action, and then I want Mama Shu to give us some parting advice or message. But what I want everybody to do is screenshot this slide. The dream I'm pursuing is, you know, we all have to be pursuing a dream. We all have to be. If you're not pursuing a dream right now, you are depriving yourself, your family in this world of your greatness. And we can't do that. We have to play bigger. You know, if you want to connect with me, you connect with me. I'll help you get connected with all these people. But in closing, I'm going to give Mama Shu the floor and leave us with your last words of wisdom, or Wednesday wisdom, that we can take and do something good today with.
Okay. This right here is something that was really, really, that came to me through spirit. And I'm like, this is just hit it right on the nail. But this journey has been a healing journey for me too. This right here helped me to heal from the loss of my son, and hopefully anything that you feel that you have to get over, or things that happen, because sometimes we get in our own way, and sometimes it's blockages. It's because of things that happen to us. You can overcome them. But I want to share this thing about grief. It says, grief, I've learned, is really just love. It's all the love you want to give but cannot. All of that unspent love gathers up in the corners of your eyes, the lump in your throat, and in that hollow part of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go. I want to tell you that Avalon Village and what I've been doing is it's grief, but it's the other side of grief. And you can take it there. It can look just like that. It can look beautiful. It doesn't have to look broke down. You don't have to be in that place all the time. You're going to be in that place sometime, but overall, you can beat it, and you can actually bring something very, very beautiful on the other side of that. And I want to let anybody who's struggling with anything, if it's grief, if it's just with anything, get through it. You can get through it. Keep your eye on the prize and just stay focused. Stay focused and stay consistent and believe and have faith. And also in 2017, I want you to play bigger.
Amen. Amen, Mama Shu. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
Lois.
welcome.
Thank
And
you,
thank you.
everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Share and spread love, and let's do this together. Until we meet again tomorrow, be big, be bold, play bigger, and be you. Bye bye, everybody.
All right. Peace and love.